What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and I know this looks ridiculous because it is absolutely ridiculous. Sort of cool at the same time though, I guess you could say. But I'm going to tell you why I do these videos. I don't do these videos to show off firearms or brag or anything like that. That's not what this is about. The reason why I do these videos is not everyone lives right next to a firearms store. Not everyone has a bunch of buddies with a bunch of handguns, right? Not every store will let you take out 5, 6 different handguns at a time to compare them all together. So the reason why I compare them to other popular options, we do everything, budget options. I have $229 guns in here, $240 handguns. The reason why I do it is so you guys can see a clear, nice comparison. Chances are if you watch this channel, you have probably one of these models. Therefore, you can go home, look at that handgun, and get a good reference point to its size, its features, its texturing, and just overall thickness, which is a big thing for a lot of people. A lot of people who watch this channel are hardworking Americans trying to take care of their family, want something that's affordable, reliable, and reasonable. And that's why I do these videos. I don't do it for any other reason. Simply just to compare so you guys have a good idea next time you want to make a purchase. You might say, hey, that Ruger Max 9 looks awesome, but I just want to see how it stacks up against other options in its price point and so on. So that's why I tend to choose some of the most popular options out here that chances are you have at home that you can compare to. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you for all the support. It really means a lot to me. And for reference, I wear size large gloves. Now obviously my hands are a little beat up and I got a lot of spray foam on them from work, but these are what my hands look like, right? I have fat, short fingers, but I wear size large gloves. So if that helps you guys at all, I hope it does. The Ruger Max 9, and we're going to be comparing it to its 12+1 setup with this magazine with this base plate. This is 12+1 and 9mm, and the firearm is safety check cleared and unloaded. Now so far my experience with the Ruger Max 9 is it's a good shooter, it's ergonomic, has good texturing. The one thing I don't like about it though is the finish. I guess two things, is the finish and the slide rattle. There's a lot of slide rattle. No, that's not a striker. That is legit the slide going side to side, almost like it's out of spec a little bit. Not a big deal though. No issues so far. So far, so good. Actually, really like this thing. It actually, when I first held it at the range and said, yeah, I'll get it, I wasn't a fan. I did it more for the reviews because you guys requested it, but actually, it's really growing on me. So let's get into it. We're going to take a look real quick at the LCP Max because that's all it is. Imagine the Security 9 up here, the Max 9, and then the LCP Max, right? They're literally, this had a baby with the Security 9 and made this, which is awesome because I really love my LCP Max. It's been 100% reliable, a great shooter, and once again, it's a unicorn when it comes to size and capacity. So 380 on the right, but 10+1, and 9mm on the left, 12+1. So you can see it almost sits about the same length as where that 10-round mag would come in on the, what do you call it, the Max 9. So as you can see, that's length and width. Pretty cool. Next up, we'll do the Ruger SR9C, one of my favorite subcompacts from Ruger. I just wish Ruger's quality was still like the Ruger SR9C. 10+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. So very comparable in capacity, but look how much thinner, shorter it is compared to that SR9C. Next up, we're going to go one of its rivals, the SIG P365, and that one's 12+1 and 12+1. So it loses a little bit to the SIG P365. There's length, there's frame to frame, there's slide to slide, but overall, pretty comparable footprint. We'll do the XL real quick, 12+1 on the right, 12+1 on the left. Dead on when it comes to comparing them in size. Obviously, this has a longer barrel. Next up, we'll step up to the Glock 43 8+1 with a Mag Guts kit. Definitely beats the Glock 43. Pretty solid. Next up, we'll go the XD 13+1 setup. Much thicker, much heavier. You see where that extra round may come in. And pretty comparable in length. And there's barrel to barrel. So as you can see, the Max 9 has a longer barrel. That subcompact I just showed you is a 3-inch barrel. Let's do the XDS in 45, but this will represent any XDS that you have, whether it's in 40 with the Gen 1s or the Mod 1s. 6+1 of 45 ACP on the right versus 12+1 and 9. So I understand why people carry 9mm. You get a lot of capacity. But at the same time, you know, I always meet a lot of people that carry 45. They swear by it. They love it. So to each his own. I love 45 too. A lot of people think it's snappy. It's actually a very smooth shooting round. I actually really like 45 ACP. So I got my Glock 30 here to represent the Glock 29 SF and 30 SF. 12 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. And look at that. But of course it's in 45 ACP, much thicker and all of that jazz. Glock 19, one of the most popular handguns in the world. 15 plus 1 versus 12 plus 1 on the left. I think the LCP Max has got it when it comes to capacity. Pretty interesting. Barrel to barrel. Awesome. Dagger. This is basically going to be the exact same thing as what I just showed you. It is 15 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left, thicker, all that stuff. Masada Slim. This is a great comparison because this is about $30 to $50 more, and it's 13 plus 1 versus 12 plus 1 on the right. So they're pretty even in capacity given that extra round. Although I do really like the sights on the Max 9. The sights are solid as can be. They really are. It's a little bit thinner than the Masada as well when it comes to the slide. Here's 13 plus 1 in my XDM versus 12 plus 1. So the Ruger's got the XDM beat, but definitely not when it comes down to shootability. The XDM is one of the best shooting handguns on the market. FN Reflex, 15 plus 1, 12 plus 1 on the left. Pretty comparable. With, I'd say the Ruger may be a little tad bit wider in the slide. Not really noticeable though. Hellcat, this is a great comparison. 15 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. Pretty comparable. I think the Hellcat beats it with capacity just because the Hellcat has the most capacity for its size in 9mm out of any other Micro 9, so got to give it up to them for that. They even beat the SIG P365 by 1 round with the same exact dimensions. Very comparable. Honestly, the Max 9's growing on me a little bit. So we got to do another Ruger. LC9S, one of my favorite handguns. One of the handguns I have a lot of carry time behind. Very comparable. Now, some would say, why even buy an LCS or an EC9S or something like that? Honestly, they're just good, reliable handguns. Very little wiggle, if any at all. And I just like the EC9S series, the LC9S series, and I also like the SR9 series. I thought they were really well-made handguns, and the Ruger sort of went, you know, their quality went downhill a little bit. Holy crap. 6 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. That's the LCP original. Man, these LCPs are really cool. They really are. I really like the LCPs. CZ P10M, 7 plus 1 on the right. It destroys the P10M. Destroys it. 12 plus 1 on the left. Wow. It's thicker in the slide, or about even in the slide, I would say. Very similar footprint, but you get much more capacity. Next up, we will go Taurus GX4. That's a good one. 11 plus 1 versus 12 plus 1 on the left. Very comparable because of price points and all that. Very comparable in size. I think the GX4 beats it capacity-wise, but, I mean, honestly, I love the GX4. I honestly love this Max 9. It's actually very surprising. Here's a good one, too, because this is almost in the price range. About $50 more. Canik Meta MC9. 12 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. Very comparable. Very comparable. But notice the sights. You just get a blacked out textured rear with a white dot front sight. And on here you get this awesome fiber optic tritium sight with that black bracket blacked out rear. So pretty cool. We'll go Shield Plus. This is 13 plus 1, although I'm cheating using Mag Guts. 12 plus 1 on the right, or 13 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. Very comparable. Very interesting. Very cool. Next up, we'll do a ridiculous comparison. Glock 45. Probably one of my least shot handguns, to be honest with you. But 12 plus 1 on the right, 17 plus 1 on the left. Pretty comparable, but obviously it's much, much thinner, much smaller in every single dimension. We'll go Glock 43X. 10 plus 1 with OEM mags, and that's key because OEM mags are crucial for everyday carry and defending yourself. Don't do what's in here with a PSA dagger mag. That's simply ranged mags. 10 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. The Ruger's, everything beats the 43X. Everything. Because of its length, being a single stack, I don't think there's a handgun I own that loses to it in a capacity battle, which is really interesting because it's one of the most popular handguns. But that's simply in its superior ergonomics and shootability. 12 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left with the CZ P10S, but look at the width difference. Absolutely amazing. Let's go subcompact from Smith & Wesson, 12 plus 1. Look at the width. Oh my goodness. It does beat it in length in the grip and capacity wise, but look at the width and the weight. But that also really helps with shootability. So it's like everything else in life. It's give or take. Sorry guys, this should have definitely been the first comparison. 13 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left with the Glock 26. And man, is that base plate destroying the mat. I mean, these base plates from Henning Group and SLR Rifle Works beat every single handgun in capacity. 13 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. Obviously it is thicker though. Unbelievable what Henning Group base plates can do. Next up we'll go Glock 27, even though I shouldn't because that's the same exact size with the same base plate. 11 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left, and that's with 40. 11 plus 1 of 40. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. And the barrel length, same barrel length. This might have a 3.3 inch or 3.4 inch barrel. Not sure, but that's what it's looking like. Here's a handgun that's budget as well. The Stoeger STR9 Subcompact 10 plus 1 versus a 12 plus 1 Ruger. Now once again, everything is give or take. So you see that big, heavy, thick slide? This equals shootability. In majority of the cases, this equals shootability. Also look at the trigger guards. Look how big that Ruger trigger guard is, but they leave you no room for your actual finger with a glove on it. Look at that Stoeger trigger guard. Look at that. Obviously all firearms are cleared and safety checked. HK P2000 SK 9 plus 1 of 40 versus 12 plus 1 of 9 on the left. Look at the width. That's crazy. I love this HK. It's another one of those handguns that just, it grows on you. Now here's a good comparison. It's probably going to lose. But the CSX, you can get these for about $400 now. Holy wow. 12 plus 1 on the right, 12 plus 1 on the left. The CSX is winning that battle. Slide to slide, barrel to barrel. Two awesome handguns. So yeah, that's the comparison for the Ruger the Ruger Max 9 compared to other popular carry options. Thanks for watching, guys.